This is our 11th devotional video of LightHouse KinShip in quietness and in trust.
Today we begin our video at Cascade Falls in Saco, Maine. Today is Thursday, June 3rd, 2021.
Are you physically tired, mentally exhausted, and are spiritually burned out?
Matthew 11:28-30 from the Message. Are you tired, worn out, burned out on religion? Come to me. Get away with me and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me and you'll learn to live freely and lightly.
During my wife, mother, college days, my physical body let me know that I desperately needed a rest. I was finishing up several preschool projects, preparing for finals, and I had one of the worst sinus infections in a very long time. When I crawled into bed that Friday night, I did not move until Sunday afternoon. I asked Bobby, what happened to Saturday? His reply was, you slept it away. Can Jesus identify with that kind of physical tiredness?
Mark 4:37-38. And a great windstorm arose, and the waves were breaking into the boat, so that the boat was already filling. But Jesus was in the stern, asleep on the cushion. And they, his disciples, woke him and said to him, Teacher, do you not care that we're perishing?
Does Jesus truly care about our physical weariness?
Jeremiah 31:25 NIV. I will refresh the weary and satisfy the faint.
Jeremiah 31:25 tells us that the Lord will refresh us physically. But what about our mental exhaustion? The body sleeps, but the mind is still in high gear, racing over all the highs and lows of the days, weeks, months, and years of our lives. Matthew 14:1-13 tells us that Jesus had times of great mental anguish.
Matthew 14:1-13. At that time Herod the Tetrarch heard about the fame of Jesus, and he said to his servants, This is John the Baptist. He has been raised from the dead. That is why these miraculous powers are at work in him. For Herod had seized John and bound him and put him in prison for the sake of Herodias, his brother Philip's wife, because John had been saying to him, It is not lawful for you to have her. And though he wanted to put him to death, he feared the people because they held him to be a prophet. But when Herod's birthday came, the daughter of Herodias danced before the company and pleased Herod, so that he promised with an oath to give her whatever she might ask. Prompted by her mother, she said, Give me the head of John the Baptist here on a platter. And the king was sorry, but because of his oath and his guests, he commanded it to be given. He sent and had John beheaded in the prison. And his head was brought on a platter and given to the girl, and she brought it to her mother. And his disciples came and took the body and buried it, and they went and told Jesus. Now when Jesus heard this, he withdrew from there in a boat to a desolate place by himself.
For me, mental anguish is where I have my biggest battle, especially when I'm already drowning in deep despair, then another storm comes roaring into my life. January 2013, Bobby and I experienced the most unthinkable situation. Within that storm came 3 other storms. Besides refreshing us physically, the Lord will strengthen us mentally when we seek His presence every day.
1 Chronicles 16:11. Seek the Lord and His strength. Seek His presence continually.
Jeremiah 31:25 tells us how to find physical refreshment. 1 Chronicles 16:11 tells us how to overcome mental exhaustion. But how do we renew our spirit?
Mark 1:35 ESV. And rising very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus departed and went out to a desolate place, and there he prayed. Mark 6:46 ESV. And after he had taken leave of them, he went up on the mountain to pray. Luke 4:42 ESV. And when it was day, Jesus departed and went into a desolate place. Luke 6:12 ESV. In those days, Jesus went out to the mountain to pray, and all night he continued in prayer to God.
Jesus is our example for refreshing us physically, strengthening us mentally, and renewing us spiritually.
How do we look and go to find rest for our hearts, minds, souls, and spirits? Jeremiah 6:16 ESV. Thus says the Lord, stand by the roads and look, and ask for the ancient paths, where the good way is, and walk in it, and find rest for your souls.
In quietness and trust, Isaiah 30:15 ESV. For thus says the Lord God, the Holy One of Israel, in returning and rest you shall be saved. In quietness and in trust shall be your strength.
Monica and I are concluding today's devotional at Portland Headlight, which you can see behind us here on the shores of Maine. Thank you for joining us today. If you would, give us a like our videos, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and put the little notification bell so you'll never miss another video. And please share our videos on your social media networks.